Okay, wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are in our third social media series, so that's pretty exciting. This is all about streaming video. We're going to look at the few misconceptions of these different video platforms. We're talking Vimeo, we're talking YouTube, we're talking Instagram Live, Facebook Live, what's downloadable, what's not, IGTV. I don't know, IUD, I don't know. We're going to talk about all these different things, and they change constantly. So we're going to look at how do we record, how do we edit, how do we post our video content. What I'd like you to do is please take your mouse, move it. You guys know the drill. Go to the bottom of your page. You're going to see the green share button. Go to the left of it. That's your chat box. Do me a favor, and I want you to reach over and type in where you're from. There you go. Kat Stampler from Tampa, Florida. Hello.
Yeah, I was just in Tampa.
Okay, we've got people from Alabama, Tulsa, Arizona, Toronto, Canada. We've got people from all over the world. Rocky, where are you from? He's typing a long time. Okay, so what I want you to make sure, we've got New Mexico, California, Pennsylvania, blah, blah, blah. I love this. And use this chat box. We are here for you. I want to hear your different comments on things, what you have to say, what you have to share with us. We want to know what you want to know because it's important to us. We have three great panelists, and what we always do, what SCW always tries to do, is we're trying to pick people with diverse backgrounds with different focuses, because all of these people, all of you guys listening, we have, what'd you say, Mike Lieber? How many people registered? 160?
90.
190. Oh, dear Lord, lots of people. We're probably going to have about 70 of y'all show up, and then we'll have the recordings and you guys can watch it. We'll send you the recording. Please don't worry. We will send you the recording tomorrow late afternoon. So everybody will get the recording. So that'll be really nice to have. Great panelists with us. We have Khalid Freeman. He's a professional dancer, teacher, and choreographer, as well as the creator of Soul Clap Fitness. And he was in Cirque du Soleil. It was almost 8 years, you say, and also 9 years with Stomp. So he is an incredible choreographer, dancer, and he developed the most amazing program. Then we also have Gretchen Gegg from the MiMo Method. And the MiMo Method is very focused on positive body imagery. And as 2020 brought along changes in the fitness industry, her business expanded to include virtual yoga, a virtual yoga studio, and on demand. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting a little bit of buzzing. Sorry about that. And then we've also got our wonderful Jessica Maurer, who really, she is the brainchild behind this social media video series. She's SCW's personal guru of social media. Got the buzzing. And then, so she's our social media guru. And she also is the Fit for Mom Senior Director of Educational Development. So we're very excited to have these three panelists. Also, you see the SCW logo, and the man behind the logo, the man behind the curtain, is Mike Lieber, our fabulous cinematographer. So he helps to run our panels. We're going to dive in. Okay, Jessica, I'm starting with you. What are the two main differences between YouTube and Vimeo?
So YouTube feels much more like a social media platform. It's where people can still comment, like, and share your video content. Whereas Vimeo is a bit more privatized. It's a way that people can't necessarily fully integrate into a social atmosphere on Vimeo. But because of that, you have privacy regulations that you can use on Vimeo. Whereas YouTube, you only have three really big options: for it to be public, for it to be unlisted, but still shareable, or for only for you to be able to see it. So if you're putting something up where you only want people to have access to it if they've paid for it, then you're better going towards the Vimeo route, where you can fully protect it, put a password on it, make sure it's embedded only on websites that you allow, and allow it for it to be downloadable or to not be downloadable. YouTube has that much more social feel where people are going to interact with you. They're going to comment. They're going to be able to share. You're going to be able to embed the videos in other places. think those are the two really big differences between those platforms.
And what I always find is when I post something on YouTube, other stuff pops up on the side. Like I can get taken to like a competitor's site, something I viewed the day before. If I was watching, if I, did a YouTube thing and I wanted to see how Chicago slaughtered Detroit in hockey, sorry, anyone from Michigan. But if whatever I want to see that's on the right, I'm getting my attention's getting sucked away and I'm off of the website that promoted the video in the first place. So that I think that's really, really interesting. And somebody was mentioning about Instagram Live and Facebook Live. Was that you, Jessica, that brought that up, or was that you, Gretchen?
I think it was both.
Let's go with you. Gretchen, share with us, please.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of live video. I think that's a great way to get comfortable in front of the camera. I'm all about diving into the deep end, right? Can feel daunting, but it's fun. And Facebook, we know Facebook and Instagram are essentially the same platform, right? The same owner. If we don't know that, we do now. But Instagram Live, you can, when you go live on Instagram, you immediately after have the option to download or put it on IGTV, which is their option. They're kind of YouTube. Instagram wants to have a little bit of TikTok, a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Facebook. So you can put it on IGTV or download it, but you have to do it immediately or it's gone forever. And Facebook has the same option. I think there are some kind of back-end things you can do to download it later, but Facebook Live will automatically stay up too. So if you just end your video, it might say, do you want to keep it up? But it will automatically stay up and people can come back and watch it at any time. That's the big difference.
And Gretchen, can you give us just a quick synopsis of what the MiMo method is? So people can kind of where you're coming from in your selection of how you post your videos.
For sure. And you mentioned the idea of positive body image, and that's where the MiMo method was born. I realized that, after I had kids and I was finding myself again in the world of fitness, that there were other women that were doing the same thing. And those women I found behind the computer screen, behind the phone screen. They were on the other side. It was very intimidating when you don't feel like yourself or you don't really enjoy how you look when you work out. I mean, come on, we put mirrors all over the studios like crazy people. Then you don't want to walk into the gym. And there was a place, but it was behind a computer screen. So I started finding a home on the other side and showing people what they could do, doing very body positive movement, chair fitness, and also incorporating some life coaching methods that help shift that mindset and gradually get people kind of feeling like themselves again. But we do it through the computer screen. And so I kind of fell in love with video that way.
And that's incredibly, it helps us understand where you're coming from in that. Khalid, I know you're with Soul Body Fitness. Obviously, you are the body of Soul Body, right? But how are you integrating video into your program, into your website, emails, etc.?
Yeah, well, first of all, I do hire out. So I got my man Hassan who does my video content and stuff that I don't necessarily like to handle hands-on. And but we use a Vimeo OTT platform where it kind of allows you to kind of have a library of videos for instructors. So we have one for just instructors. It's kind of like a little bit larger catalog, and it has tutorials and whatnot. But then there's just the straight videos for you to learn, and that's another separate thing. So you can have different catalogs or different libraries of information for them to use. So Vimeo is what we use to embed onto the website, which is the domain soulclapfitness.com. It's very helpful. It's user friendly. It's like it's amazing, and it's a lot of space.
And I will ask Mike Lieber if he wouldn't mind putting your website in there as well. I just popped in Gretchen's website, but you said you job it out. Okay. And obviously I work with Jessica and can say consultant, whatever, you job it out because some of us are just, it's not our skill set.
Yeah, hey, don't be ashamed because I'm sure there's a lot of us out there that don't either like to handle or not up that hip to it. But I also like I built my team around what everybody's skill set was. You know what I mean? I'm the CEO, but I also like I can get in front of the camera. I can be the face in front of the screen and do all the dancing and all the teaching and coaching and all the energy that it needs. But behind the scene, there's always somebody working, like Mike, like us, Jessica, whoever, to really make it work for everyone to have what do you call it, um, customer service and all this kind of thing that people might need to have. But I definitely outsource the content on demand, the video on demand stuff, and like he does a great job, and I don't try to understand half as much what he does. So almost,
But you're in front of the camera. And
but I'm in front of the camera.
what did you learn about that between the microphone and the lighting and
Oh
the
yeah, I mean, there's so much that goes involved. I mean, I do with Soul Clap Fitness is it's very important that you hear sound as well as visual. We use our body as our tool and our instrument. So most of the class can be geared towards the cardio dance fitness. A lot of the class will be focused on a cappella, like actual rhythms and clapping your hand, because our hands contain so much pressure points and so much energy in it. We use it every day. We just don't even know how valuable it is. So we try to promote that in the class. So there's a lot of a cappella clapping and stuff. So a lot of times I'll use just the regular handheld mic.
you have to show us. Just give us a quick 30-second. You got to show us.
Well, you got the snaps, you got the claps, you can wipe, all kinds of different sounds. So this is what it might sound like from the chest up. Something like that.
All right. Very good. That was great. Okay. And you're in front of the camera. So you've got to be cognizant of how everything is being filmed. How did you learn that? How can you give some cues for people to be better in their streaming videos?
It's first of all, repetition is very important. I mean, I'm not trying to show and teach a teacher, 'cause I'm sure a lot of us are teachers, but we got to know that this is our right and this is our left, and we mirror accordingly. And also that we give them enough opportunities to kind of learn it. So if you just do it once and they don't get it, you don't want them to feel unsuccessful. You want them to kind of continue to get better, and then bring them along a journey so that the next time they take class, they have somewhere to build on top of. So we do it in levels, level 1, 2, and 3. But I've learned that, distance, volume, lighting, I got a whole little movie studio set up because, but when you're in a studio, whether you're on the dance floor, you want surface. Surface is important, having a hard floor, or not a concrete floor, but something hard, not carpet, unless you're doing some kind of yoga. But for dance fitness, I prefer that you wear sneakers and that you're on a hard floor. So, I mean, I've learned that is important. I don't know. Smiling is important.
But that's true. It's like you have to crank up the energy.
Yeah.
You have to be very cognizant of your right and your left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you have to build gradually, because as much as I'm looking at a screen trying to see my students, can they follow me through a video? When I'm doing on demand, there is no feedback. It's just they're playing and recording. So you have to build that so gradually, which is very important to do. And I really appreciate that you go to somebody who's an expert if you can't do it. And it doesn't necessarily mean you guys need to hire an assistant. It means you also, go out into your crowd. I found the first person that built our website was the son of one of my students, who just did it and just built it for us. And that was a trillion years ago, because I'm older than God right now. But it was a long time ago. But you can ask for help from other people and be surprised that you're going to find it. Now, Gretchen, you mentioned that Instagram, of course, and Facebook are linked. Should I use these services independently of my other networks or as an additional tool? Should I be posting the same thing on Instagram as I'm videotaping Instagram Live, as I'm videotaping for Facebook Live? And one of the things I do want to mention to everybody is, oh, please, it's fine to post these 30-minute videos, these 18-minute segments, a 10-minute version. Exactly, Khalid. Okay, go ahead, Gretchen. Share with us about time limitations.
Yeah, so it depends on where, first of all, my theory is use everything. If you know how to use it, whether you're cross posting, whatever it is. The only thing that can hurt you is not getting on something and missing that opportunity to connect with the client, right? But it is interesting to note who you're going to be seeing when you go to these different places. So Facebook is kind of the coffee shop right now. You're going to go in and you're going to look at people who are most familiar to you. You're going to get people showing up in your feed that are already plugging into your feed. It's where you're going to have an opportunity to connect with people who already know who you are. Instagram, though, is going to be the place where you've got to know your hashtags. You've got to use your hashtags. You've got to make sure you're using geolocation, all those little bells and whistles that they have, because Instagram is the magazine rack. This is where people are going to look for fun, new information. You know, like I haven't been to a Barnes and Noble in a while, but back in the back where you go and you see all those people picking up the magazines and reading them, then putting them back on the shelf. That's what Instagram is. That's where people are going to discover you. So it's important that you do both. I mean, if you're in the gym, you're welcoming in new members, but you're not ignoring the people that come to your class every week. So that's just a little Instagram, Facebook made easy moment for you.
But that's good because you're right. Instagram's like a magazine rack. Facebook is like the coffee shop where you're going to hang out probably a little too long and you're going to, you got to get out of there. Jessica, I see you smiling. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the statistics are really interesting on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. The Instagram, you got 15 seconds. That's all you got. On Facebook, they're more likely to watch for a bit longer, but not that long. Like 5 minutes tends to be the max on Facebook right now, unless it's a Facebook Live and you can really get them sucked in. But on YouTube, the average is 12 minutes. Like people will go to YouTube expecting to be there for a long period of time. That's where your longer videos should live. That's where your longer workouts, you can get a teaser, a taste of it on Instagram, get a teaser and a taste of it on Facebook. But okay, you want the full thing, it's going to be hosted on your YouTube page or your Vimeo page, which you can then embed onto your website so that you're constantly feeding people back to where they can purchase from you. Whereas on Facebook and Instagram, they're really just getting little tasters, little teasers of you, and then use the other platforms in order to give them the full course or the full workout.
That's really good advice. And when you're in Instagram, can you post a link to YouTube? Will they kind of allow that, or how do you drift them there?
You can't. So Instagram doesn't allow for live URL linking. So you can't put a link somewhere necessarily for it to really work. And then you got to think that YouTube's owned by Google. Google and Facebook don't exactly like each other. So posting a YouTube link on your Facebook will also kind of get you, hidden on the algorithm. But what you can do is embed the YouTube video on your website and send people there and say, if you want to see the full thing, click the link in my bio on Instagram and it'll take them to your website where your video is. And same on Facebook, you can say, click the link in the comments to go see the video in my blog, and it will take them to the blog where they'll see the video that's been on YouTube, but now on your website. It's a way that you can work around the fact that Google and Facebook don't necessarily get along.
Oh, that's sneaky brilliant.
A little sneaky.
Well, it's not bad. It's like, well, it's not like everybody on this call is selling like drugs or anything. We're selling wellness and health. And if you can post a short video saying what it is, and then somebody comments and you comment yourself and say you can see the full length video here, you're not saying that won't negatively affect your algorithms. Now, you guys, I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to all this stuff, but negatively affecting your algorithms means that you go lower on someone's feed and it's less likely that people will be able to find what you're posting. So you don't want to post, put the competitors in there, right? But in the comments, does that negatively affect or not, Jessica?
No, it doesn't. It sees it as a comment. So even if the link is in your comment, Facebook still says, oh, that's a comment. Yay. And it kind of gives you a good point for it. Even if that link is taking them off of Facebook and onto your website, that's where it really goes. Now, if the link takes them to YouTube, then you're still going to have some minor issues. But for the most part, if it's going off onto what we call a private server, something where you're having a Wix or a WordPress or anything like that, Facebook is fine with it.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I think that's great. Somebody asked, Jessica, what's your website?
I'm jhmfitness.com.
jhmfitness.com. So there you go, Megan. That's your answer for that. How about selling through Facebook or Instagram? This is what Rashi asked. Jessica, you and I have been going at this a little, very intently, especially with Facebook, getting our videos shown and then trying to sell people, oh, please come see the fitness conference. What have you found? Because you did a lot of research.
So what we found really works well on analytics is educating people on why they should come to the event or why they should come to your product, giving them that stance that you are the expert, and validity and giving yourself credibility is what works really well on social media. Getting them off of social media into coming to your website, that's your goal. So anytime that you can give them little tasters, but say, oh, find the full thing over here, they're more likely to click through and go over. Now, Facebook advertisement, it's going through like its toddler years right now. It's throwing a tantrum, and it's kind of just rejecting everything that you might be putting out there, including how they're being able to track pixels, which is how you can see from people moving from Facebook to your website. Those things aren't working really well right now, but what we do see is working is creating offers and creating events and then boosting that material. That is where you're seeing the click-throughs happen. You're able to trace it. You're able to see what's happening. But really and truly, like, social media is about educating people as to why they need to come look at your product, why you're the expert of the field, making sure that they know that they can trust you and that you're a credible resource and expert.
Okay, that's really very valuable. Now, Leslie says, and I don't know, Gretchen, if you know, do you know anything about why that she uses YouTube for her live dance classes, and she sends a YouTube link to our clients who prepay for the links. How can we market or sell these live or on-demand links to the public on YouTube? Do you sell it on YouTube, or you sell everything through your site?
Yeah, and I think that's important to understand too, is so Vimeo, from what I understand, I don't use it quite as much as you, Jessica, but YouTube isn't necessarily set up to really be one of those pay and watch type sites. I use it mainly because it allows people who are investing in something on my site and they're behind a paywall to get it a little quicker, just for the streaming aspect of it. And I don't do any live pay stuff there. So I think I'd have to understand the question a little bit more, but it doesn't seem like a great idea to continue to use the payment through something like a PayPal and then going into YouTube. It would be best if it was behind a website or a place where you actually owned a little bit more of the content. If somebody wants to add to that, that's just my initial thought without fully understanding the question, I think.
No, it was very valuable, Gretchen. I think you nailed it. The value of having your own site is you can really manage it. Facebook changes constantly. We were talking before the camera even came on. Jessica said one thing, Gretchen said something, changed. It happens daily. So if you own it, it really helps you. And when did you start doing, do you do live streaming workouts, Gretchen, and then you also offer on demand, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you offer it through your website and in a subscription. And what do you typically charge, if you don't mind me asking? I think a lot of people do want to know.
No, I don't mind at all. It's actually one of my lower cost things. It's my way to get people in the door. So to get the monthly recurring, where you get the live and the on demand, and there's probably between 10 to 15 live workouts a month, you can get that for just $27. You can also get access to the on demand for just $12. And again, this is, since I'm talking to professionals, this is a cost to get people in the door. It's not my big money maker. I feel like I can say that we're all behind the curtain together, but it's another way that I use video I have call to actions every single video,
And
whether I'm on Zoom or whatever.
And Leslie did ask, I think you said $12 for the on demand and then 27 or whatever, 24, 27 for, and this is per month, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And do you charge like a bundle for a 3-month or a 6-month or a year pass? It's just a month. Is it a recurring line of revenue, which means everybody on this call, wake up and pay attention to me right now, okay? You want a recurring line of revenue. You want a month by month that people, when they sign up, they're automatically charged. And the only way they can be removed is when they intentionally remove. Click a cancel me button or something like that. That's, I hate to say this, sounds a little sneaky, but that's relatively hidden, but accessible and kind. And when they do unsubscribe or they cancel, keep them on your list and welcome them back at any time. Okay, there you go, Gretchen. She's my girlfriend. The rest of you too, I don't care. No, but
we've all had to try to cancel something at some point, so we understand.
You do the same thing, don't you, Khalid? You have a month by month subscription.
Yeah. For our instructors as well as our, students, and then there's the app. But we also have a la carte, just one-time pay for a certain amount of videos, and then kind of like Gretchen was saying, like a call to action to kind of get more, like, unplugged. We call it Collard Greens Unplugged. And then of course come into class, and there's a calendar on the website that will allow you to kind of see what classes are, upcoming. So we want them to kind of stay involved somehow, physically or online, or just kind of check out the, YouTube page. But when they get to know your person, because there's a difference between like a personal page and then a business page, right? So on Instagram, you might have like a soulclapfitness page, but then I have a Khalid Freeman page. And so they kind of worked in tandem, they work together, but you try to really separate personal stuff. Like, I just got married, okay, but that's not going to go on my fitness page, you know what I mean? But she is a fitness as well. Cirque du Soleil, she's an acrobat. So a lot of fitness people like to see the, these kind of two worlds come together. But anyway, the point is that you have, multiple accounts that kind of can help each other out.
So you have a business account and you have a personal account, and you might post videos on your personal account that are just, here's the new baby, we just got married, look at the dog, personal, and they want to know you. And that yet you also keep your business page. Do you let your personal videos drift over to your business page or vice versa?
Absolutely. It's not a problem for me as long as it's, relevant. It's not going to be a super random or nothing like, oh, here's a bird. But like, it's really about trying to make people feel comfortable with the personality that's, that is the brand, you know what I mean? Because nobody just wants to get to follow a brand. They want to follow a person. So you're like, oh, that's the guy or that's the girl, or that's the person that's doing that. And they also do this. And then you kind of like try to find a clever way to just to link them. So people are getting to know the personality behind the brand. And that's what I was told from my manager, that's what they want to know. They want to know you. They want to know you and what you're about. And any, little things that are personal to you that make you, get you up in the morning, that motivate you, the things that are going to get you to the gym, it's going to get you to kind of share your life with somebody else that you might be a stranger to.
Oh, that's great. No, that's really good. I teach a yoga class Monday and Friday mornings. And this Monday, I was just telling a story about skiing because I've got a big bruise on my arm because I wiped out on some double black diamond going down into a gully because I'm an idiot, right? Yeah, I know. Scary. I'm frightening on a pair of skis. And I was telling this story, and then at the end of class, I said, oh, you guys, do you mind when I tell these stories? And they all were like, oh, we love it. And I think it's basically because they hate exercise. They only come because they're somewhat entertained. I'm not quite sure. Now, I got a couple great questions here. Diane asked, and so did Shireen ask, does Gretchen work on her own, or does she have instructors? So do you have employees or independent contractors that work for you, Gretchen? And then also, Do you teach from your home or do you teach from a studio? I know, Khalid, you go to a studio, so I want to hear like the two different approaches. Gretchen, please.
So I have kids, so everything I do is on my phone and in my house. Um, so I teach from my home, um, because there's such a small amount of fitness classes that I'm offering right now, and I don't, at the price point, I don't want to up that. I'm the only instructor. I do have independent contractors for other things because I'm not the expert at everything. So I do have people that are employees, but they don't teach classes for me. And I teach, it's my garage. I put all these like little, my weights, every fitness thing I have is in the front of my garage. And my darling husband put some big LED lights that I just flip a switch and they shine on me. And it's nothing fancy and it's not too expensive. And if it's a good, nice sunshiny day, I can just open the garage door and daylight's the best light. So I think I answered all the questions for me. That's how I run it.
And Khalid, you're into this professional studio. Go, please share.
Oh, well, similar to Gretchen as well. I work from home. When people want privates and stuff, we do something in my garage as well. Nothing fancy as well. I do a little backdrop or like a logo and stuff like this. But I work at the gym. Now, I live in Las Vegas, and our governor, opened up the gyms a few months ago, or maybe even half a year ago now. So we kind of been back and going, and so it's kind of like you get some people in, and you lose, you get half their amount. So then with the turn of the season and in January and all the stuff, you get people in the gym. So I work at a chain here in Vegas. And that's helpful because it's a kind of a proof of concept. It kind of gets me moving as well as it's physical. You want that interaction. So but then like at the same time we have content on demand, which is just, it lives there. I don't have to, I might add videos, I add videos to the library so people have, access to new songs, but that's few and far between. More so as like doing it in person. That's where the kicker is. But when it's kind of like an a la carte, like on demand, it's on demand. It's like we have.
So you like to film when you also feel the energy, which is almost, we're easing into this with hybrid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get in front of the camera. Don't get in front of the camera because someone told you to. Do it when you want to do it. It's got to, or at least the energy. You got to muster it up. But like, I don't put stuff out there that doesn't have a full 100% of my energy and undivided attention, because that can go. That only as good as your last show. That's what we say in show business, right?
I agree. Jessica, now you're teaching regularly. Yes, you do a lot of consulting, but you're teaching regularly. Where do you film?
In my basement. So right when COVID hit, we converted my downstairs basement, put some white walls up, ordered some lights off of Amazon, got my mic out from 1992 and connected it to an external speaker, and started streaming immediately that way. And it's since become my haven, my studio space. And I teach my live classes there as well as my on-demand recorded classes there.
And I'm getting a lot of questions here, and I'm really going to try to fly through them because they're all valuable. Shireen asked you, Khalid, can you stream live from the gym to non-gym members? And I think, Shireen, what you're asking is, because he's working at the gym, is the gym owner nice enough to let you film and also put it on your own site?
And the answer is no, unfortunately. Because you got it. It's about a waiver and permission from the students or from the clients, because there's mirrors everywhere in the gym, so you can't really find the right angle to just get the instructor or the backs of people without getting all their faces. So that's kind of a limit that we've run into.
It's a sticking point. I will tell all of you on here, and Khalid, I would tell you that what your owner should do is, as soon as people sign up for a membership, they should be signing a release that says, I agree to have my image and video and picture be utilized on any sorts of promotional materials, or whether they derive money or not, blah, blah, blah. There's a little legal release you can put in there into every membership. Frankly, we do it on every Mania conference because we're filming promotional videos or we're filming on-demand videos and everybody's in. So if you want to come to the convention or if you want to go to the studio, you sign a release and you agree that, you know, social media is social media. We're taking pictures all the time of who's going on. Just an idea. But you guys, when you go back to your gyms, when your gyms open up, these are things you want to think about. Can I film? Can I put a little tripod? And I don't know if I can reach it without breaking everything. But what I use, I can't. I'll break everything. Jessica, I think you use the same thing, a ring light, right? Yeah, and it's got there you go. Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, now share. How much did you spend on yours?
Less than $50.
Thank you. I spent 39 whatever on Amazon. And it's, oh my God, I've dropped it everywhere. Everywhere. So I thought, oh, I'm buying this cheap thing and it's going to break. No, it'll last you until you die. Okay. Probably, it can't be recycled. That's so sad. But then that was a great question. And Gretchen, Shireen is not shy. And Shireen just wants to know, what is your moneymaker?
So my money maker is the MiMo method and then my private coaching. So along with fitness, I guess I've got to go a little into my backstory here, but I used to teach at Texas A&M. I taught for many years, and then I decided that I wanted to shift my business model a little bit, and I wanted to be able to be at home with my two kids. And part of that shift, I went and I set for a really good, lengthy, big life coach certification. I say that that's important. We all know the value of certifications. You get what you pay for. So I went and I set for that. So between my fitness experience and my backgrounds and my education there and life coaching, I get clients that they need this. I talked about the body positive a while ago, and the MiMo method is a group. It's always a group. I also do it for teaching fitness people how to teach the MiMo method, which is what I'll get into at the Live Mania coming up. But that's my moneymaker. I either do it as a group or the people that are like, look, I'm not ready to even talk about my issues in front of other people, which is a lot of us. And I say us because I've got issues too. But that's where I make my money.
And this is, you guys, this is very, very important. We're coming out of COVID. You know, the vaccine has been accelerating with its distribution, thank God. And people are getting more and more comfortable to come back to the gym. Khalid said his Las Vegas gym has opened up again. So it's very rewarding that we're going to be able to return. We need to be able to do these hybrid workouts, but your clients are going to need coaching. And I think Gretchen, you know, that body positive, nobody, I hate to say this, I'm going to say this, that nobody has the body that they really, really want. We all have 5 pounds somewhere. Khalid, maybe not you, but
No,
but the chicks in the room, we all have that stupid 5 pounds. We have no idea where it came from, or this should be there. Okay. And to train people how to lead clients, that's what you do, Gretchen. So you have your own program that trains them. SCW has a nutrition coaching program. If you guys want to learn how to do the social media, Jessica has a certification on social media and a separate one on virtual training because we need stuff like that. You teach people, Khalid, how to do the Soul Clap program. You have a certification and you have the on-demand and the teaching program. There is huge opportunity. We're going to come out of COVID and people are starving for connections. It's church, it's bars, and it's gyms. And they're going to come back to the gym and they need help feeling comfortable in doing that. All right, I'm done. I'm off my little soapbox right now. So Kat says she's starting an aquatic studio. Any recommendations for a startup during a pandemic? Hello, anybody got any ideas here? I mean, Khalid, you started your business. I mean, here you are, this Cirque du Soleil star, and you start this business. What advice would you give Kat on how to start a business?
Well, starting a business is a whole, process that takes some nourishing, you know what I mean, and some confidence, and then, you know, trial and error. I would say that it's not always going to work the first time, you know, whether it's trying it here at a private studio or at the gym or in the park. sometimes even just, well, you're talking about water though. So I'm not really a pro in aqua, or even like what kind of water would be around to kind of start that up. But as far as a business or a license and all that, there's a lot. Yeah, I started up in the middle of working for Cirque du Soleil at the same time on tour with Michael Jackson. Like it was like a lot I was doing all at once. So with that being said, there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of options out there, but you gotta be ready to fail a little bit and then get back up and try again.
I think that is number one. Khalid, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Be ready to fail, start it out. And I'm going to tell you, Kat, you can email me afterwards. Mike Lieber will send you my email address. I don't care. You can send it to everybody, Mike. It's sjcooperman@gmail.com. But I'll send you a waiver of liability and an informed consent form. That's like the number one and number two things you need to do. And you want to think about having some type of health history form. Okay, we're getting a little bit off the title, which we're trying to talk about videos and how we can leverage the ability to host videos on either platform. And also we got asked about making money. One quick thing, I can't believe I'm doing this. You know, Gretchen, how did you build your business to make money at it? I'm going to ask you that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to run and get a light to show. I can't remember if it was Leslie or Kat who asked this. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that's a little loaded to have to talk about right now. So I will, every single thing that I do, every time I'm doing the videos that we talk about, doing videos on my site, there's always some kind of call to action. And I want everything to lead it back to a place where I can continue to nurture my clients, whether they're a client now or a client later. I see a lot of people that get really caught up. We're talking about video. They get caught up in video for video's sake. This is my video of me. This is my video of me talking. The end, turn it off. And I've done it too, but as I become more proficient at owning a business and really wanting to get people in my door, I'm always making sure that they come back to me in a place where I have longevity of contact. So email, everyone probably has heard this. If you haven't heard it, I can't believe it, but you've got to get them on an email list and you've got to be able to contact them that way. Video is great, but video's got to drive them to a place where you can nurture them. And the more you nurture someone and have that connection with them, the more likely they are to become a client. It's not about sell, 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 sell. It's about, here's what I do. How can I help you?
That is great. I'm going to show everybody my quick light. I apologize for jumping off here, but do you see this big square obnoxious thing? This is my light that I use, not just my ring light, but I use that big light when I'm filming my videos. And again, it's another thing. It was about $100 on Amazon, $100 to $150. And then it comes in its own carrying case with its own light bulb. I'm in Colorado right now. I packed it up, threw it in the back of the car. We drove to Colorado. I have my studio with me. So think about doing that. The other thing is, what type of platform, Gretchen, we were talking, I apologize for asking you so many questions, but what type of platform do you use when you videotape? Because you were saying what you use an app on your phone to edit.
Yes.
Your video.
So if I'm trying to edit video, which I don't do a whole ton of it, but most of the time when I'm editing video, I'm doing it from my phone because I'm putting it up there for social media. And I use Videorama. I do use the paid version because you get a little bit longer of a video that you can put out there. But that's my favorite on the go, do it from your phone, super easy peasy editing software.
And what do you use, Jessica?
I use Pick, Post, Play when I'm on my phone. I also use Over and Canva on my phone because now they have a way that you can edit your videos and add text and graphics and anything you want over it. So I use both of those platforms. When I'm on my computer though, I use something called ScreenFlow, which I feel like can basically like make a Hollywood video, a Hollywood movie. I'm not exactly sure how to use all of the bells and whistles. I use the basics and I feel like it does pretty much everything I could want.
Okay, excellent. So you're repeat them again. Pick, Post, Play.
Pick, Post, Play, Canva, and Over, because now you can edit your videos on those. And then the last one is called ScreenFlow.
Oh, that's excellent. Khalid, what type of programs
I call my assistant. I call my assistant. That's what I use.
I love you. And Jessica, tell us about how you're focusing the videos, because that tends to be something that you love to do.
Yes, absolutely. So what's so great about videos is that you can add so much content and value into it, and you can say so much more than a photo. But it goes beyond that, because you can actually take a photo and make it into a video. And then that way you're focusing on the photo, but your text is telling the story over it. Doing things like making slideshows and making collages that just have a message written over it is still considered a video for the most part.
Okay, we lost
Did
you
I cut
a
out?
little bit in the middle in there, but it seems like I like taking the photos and making it more active. I mean, they love photos, but they adore videos. And you mentioned something, Jessica, that actually is very, very valuable. You said the subtitles. So
Yeah.
I think you're a big fan of that, because people will watch their Instagram videos or their Facebook or YouTube while they're laying in bed and they have their sound off.
Absolutely. We saw it first starting when people were commuting all the time. I know it's not, very likely that you're commuting, but at the time, people were like on the subway or on the buses or however they were commuting, they're not going to be playing videos as loud as possible. So they would just kind of scroll and they would be able to read the comments that or the text, and that's where it really started to gain popularity. And now you're able to do it automatically. You just ask Instagram or Facebook to add closed captions to your videos. And it, for the most part, is pretty correct. You might have to edit a little bit if you have an accent or you say something a certain way. But for the most part, they're pretty close.
What'd you say, Khalid?
If you got some slang in there, they might not know how to figure that out.
Oh my God. You know what? I just looked at my clock. We are like out of time. This is craziness. I'm going to share and show you guys a short video, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you, before I show the video, give me your closing. One piece of advice, short, sweet. Khalid, what would be your short, sweet?
Have fun, get energetic, use something like TikTok to practice on, put it on Instagram, YouTube, Just be yourself.
Thank you. Jessica?
There's nothing different between being recorded and being live. You're already teaching live classes. Your people already love you. Your trainers already love you. There's nothing different between you talking to a person and you talking to a phone.
Okay. Gretchen?
You guys already told all the good stuff, but just do it. Just go there and do it. And, I'll add this. Feel free, you can tag me, and I would love to see your video and give you any feedback. I don't mind doing that. It doesn't take a lot of my time.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we will see all three of you at Livestream Mania. You guys, this is my official goodbye here. Excellent. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Khalid. Love 3 different approaches. Thank you all for joining us. And I hope to see you all at Livestream Mania. Thank you, Mike Lieber, our fearless leader. Good night, everybody.